not even informed. Somebody should give us a word of a prayer to Wombi so that to call a meeting formally.
Okay, Kikongo tumbesile tawa mwefone teke kankosi tamba ambi boto gumbato singa kwekweone na Amerika ne china ofagare zenizo tatadeka zenizo mbachine mbate bonoko zenizo mbachine chine ika biyengu tata hakuna ma nganimbe opilicho na Amerika ne se bobonya bochimbi na nene mwende wone yes ngzone tiyengu nyam zang jim nyam ta neba Cameroon sibji zanga sante kere boyengu au bechimbi tata wa wajen ber yesi mi be mi tar kuma kwe jeji we bo mara ana uzene no mo sewa no rechu ton yani tabruz nanga jemba mbo ton ya kukuru woran zante ne utaka sene no ben yengu rata foyezwi gana nga wante brigam inga majwi inga wani gere wumuna ga wani koro ga wani jang tongai ga kukuru Jima Yesu Kristo ayene.
Abene. Yes, Makon to call. Good evening to everybody. I know you guys are living in different angles of the United States. It's very imperative for us to always remind ourselves that we'll be using our two languages here for reasons which we have explained all the time, so that everybody should be part and parcel of the meeting, so that if you want to contribute any idea, that should not have an impediment. And so I want to thank God again that we have met after 28 days. I could say this is our monthly routine, that every second Sunday of the month, we have to come together as a family and discuss and work on the mission for which we had agreed. And today is one of those days, is one of the schedule which we have. And so I want to thank each and everyone who has made it possible to be here. And I believe that the rest of the people will join us soon, so that we continue to deliberate. Sometimes it's very difficult for us to meet each other if we don't have this kind of platform to meet monthly, and sometimes we share discussions. And I want to thank Mr. Teacher, because sometimes you see he opened the Zoom so that we can start having some informal exchange. Just like we started with Maros and Mr. Sean from the other angle to discuss about how the family is living and where they are, which is very important before we can get now into our formal deliberations. That's the essence why we become now a family, despite the fact that we have a mission to accomplish under this association. So I want to thank each and everyone, and that we have to be very respectful. If you have to chip in an idea, let your idea be an idea which is going to build. It should not be an idea which we thought is challenging. We'll always come in with an idea that is negative. Let's try to be very positive in anything that we want to do. We know that, yes, sometimes things might not go the way it is, but let's put it as an aim that we should always be addressing things from a positive perspective. We had agreed that the meeting begins at exactly 9 p.m. Central Time and 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and in Pacific, which we are looking in California area, should be around 7. But now time has changed a little bit. We are getting to fall, and perhaps maybe we might see if we have to bring again the time a little bit behind, or we just have to continue to maintain this. But we keep saying that If we bring it behind, it will be the worst. Because sometimes, even if when we open the Zoom, we see find out that people are not even here. So we'll continue to maintain this time. But we must have a conversation about that so that if we think that it's necessary for us to increase or to come behind, then it is our agreement. We are going to take that as a resolution and then we'll go further. So today's meeting is going to talk a little bit on the agenda we are seeing here. And we are going to kickstart this meeting at exactly 9. It's 9:30 now. I'm just calling this meeting that we are starting at this time. And so the first item on our agenda has already been done. And we are now on the second one. And the third will be the minute that will be read by the Secretary General on the issues that we had last meeting, so that we can have an insight. If somebody was here and if you were not, then perhaps it's good that you remind you of what we had discussed last time. So, Mr. Secretary General, I want to pass you the floor. Give us the summary of what you had on your script last week. The floor is yours.
All right, a greeting to the house. Normally, I'm very sorry that we will not really have minutes for last meeting because I came a little bit late and I just knew that I would collect the video from our host to develop it. But unfortunately, the video was so heavy and I struggled to download it. He sent it more than 3 times. I struggled to download it so that I can get the minutes, but it wasn't possible. So I will hand the mic back to the president so we see how we can manage and go ahead, because it's really difficult. It was difficult for me to get those minutes due to the heavy, the weight of the video that he recorded that day.
All right, thank you, SG.
Yeah, so if I may, one of the advantages of using the AI features is that AI can actually extract minutes of the meeting. So while we're proceeding, I think on the side we can ask the large language model to extract the minutes. So at least we have something to work with.
I think I'm okay. I concur. I second what Brother Sean just said. Let's go on with technology, guys. That is what most of us are doing nowadays. You can then, when AI does that, you can review it. You have everything there in front of you. You can edit whatever you want to do, but you have the thing captured for you. It makes life easy for all of us.
Yeah, the question that follow up from there is that can you a little bit elaborate on the process so that the secretary should be able to understand and make sure he captured a few things that can be done.
Yeah. So I think if you just click on AI Companion, you can ask it to do those functions for you. So
Okay.
like create the minutes. Yeah, so I'm in a couple other forums, and the facilitator of one of those forums relies heavily on AI.
Exactly.
The AI companion to generate the minutes of meeting.
Okay.
Which it can do in literally seconds.
It's seconds, yes. So, Secretary General, I think that is a new innovation which we're having. I think we have to be modernized to make sure that we don't waste time again doing things that we're doing. I think the AI technology has come with a lot of innovations which we are going to use to facilitate whatever thing we got to do here. Thank you very much, Nishon and Ibop, for that input.
Yeah, and it listens to what you say, so it will interpret what we say and generate text.
Okay,
So it's very efficient in that regard.
cool. All right. Now, the next item which we have to get there at the moment should be matters arising from the previous minute. Like the secretary said, the video was a little bit heavy and could not be downloaded. Let me just give a few points from what we discussed last time. Last time we...
Can I just say something quickly, Mr. President? I'm so
All right.
sorry.
Yes, yes.
And I'm laughing as I'm saying it, that AI does not understand meta. So
Okay, that's right.
okay.
So, yes.
We will teach it meta.
Okay.
It's meta, all right.
I like that.
So the AI doesn't understand that language, which is very good. So what about French?
That's my fault, right?
Yes. So what about French? All right. So we are not doing it. So that's a very good
Like
point.
that.
The AI doesn't understand meta,
Meta.
meaning that at one point we are going to restrict ourselves.
It's a machine. It will do
Yeah.
anything you ask it to do.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Last week we talked a little bit about the convention report. That is the 2025 convention report, which Staticha presented to the group, and we all saw that on the platform. For those who sometimes go to the platform very late, but I want to be very sure that the report was on a platform for all of us to read. And if there were some comments, those comments were to be forwarded back to the group so that we're able now to see if there are things that we were to edit or not. But since then, I think we've not had any comment from that. That was what we had last week, and we discussed a little bit about it. And then another thing was the fundraising, which I have already discussed too with Mr. Sean again, that he is going a long way to develop us options and strategy on how we have to raise funds. Either it is in person or it is virtual. But obviously, since the convention that we are going to have in Delaware will be in person, then he is now going to come out with what strategy are we going to use to be able now to let members and volunteers, donors, to be able now to give us money. So he will be developing that, and as we progress with our meeting between now and December, he will be presenting us a draft on the way forward and what strategy we are going to use. I think he has assured us for that. Wanted to thank him about that, but if he has anything to say on that, he can still say it at this moment. Sashon, anything to add on that?
We're trying to prepare, lay the foundations. One of the things in my experience is to have something to focus people's attention. So our attention spans are decreasing, so we have the memories of goldfish these days. But if there is something that galvanizes our attention, that tends to precipitate action. So what I would propose is that we focus on what would be a flagship project.
Right.
And I would leave that to the elders to propose something, but something that really generates a lot of attention and interest. So if we say, for example, whatever it is, we're looking at improving infant mortality, right? So people might say, yes, absolutely. I'm going to open my checkbook. I'll write you a big check to improve infant mortality. Or perhaps it's gender equality. So there are people who say, absolutely, here's a big check for gender equality. Or access to primary school education. So somebody else might say, here you go. Or, early childhood development, right? So there are many causes. So if there is something that we want to advance as the flagship project, the one that people look at, and not to exclusion of other things, but we want to elevate that one project to say, this is a major priority that we need to address. It could be clean water, okay, or prevention of infection by parasitic diseases like malaria or river blindness, the bug that causes river blindness, right? So being able to focus our interests and our priorities also helps to focus the interest of the donors, because especially when it is something that they see as important and urgent, that tends, in my opinion, that tends to generate a better response.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
So as we continue, let's think about what we want to nominate as the flagship project for the convention.
Okay.
To say, we have this specific project that we want to champion. We have many other things that we want to do, but this is one of our
Did we lose Sean?
present as the flagship project at the convention.
Thank you.
In the meantime, we'll continue with all of the other work that goes along with it, but I think having that specific focus is going to help generate a lot more energy.
Yeah. All right. I think that is great. I think thank you for that generic overview on what we have to do in order to come out with such kind of a strategy to raise funds. Because if there is no project pinpoint, then because every project must have its own strategy. That's what he's trying to let us understand, that when we have a project, just like, for example, he was talking about infant mortality, which simply means that the death of an infant before even the first birth, which sometimes the way we want our projects to be handled is had to depend on our locality where we want such kind of project to perform. And so since we have appointed a field officer who is back home, who will be working now with the village authority to sample the impression of everybody. But now, when we are taking Zangtabi as where we thought that should be the project site, then we start looking at what is important that we need to provide in order to alleviate or to improve, the quality of life of the people that are there. And that was why it comes back to the series of communique which we had already put in place by trying now to request the authority that be to able now to create a village development committee to assemble all these messages and what is needed in each of those quarters, so that we were able to understand that the priority project for this year or for the next year will be this. And from that moment, we are now going to embark on a very serious, robust financial program, just like what you are talking about. And then from there, we'll know that what strategies are we going to use to raise funds for this very particular project. So I think by the end of November, we should be very sure of the next project after the repopulation project, which we are still trying to make sure that we bring people back to the village. And that's the reason why at the moment you see schools are not even going on. There's no school and so on and so forth. And some of the people are still living in the cities. And so there are some projects that sometimes if we bring there without the people, then it's not going to help. And so what we are trying to do is that through our field officer with the conversation on the ground, they were able now to let us understand that this is the priority project, that if we can handle it within this particular space of time, then it's going to create an impact in the village. In some community, like the infant mortality, where sometimes, we have to secure the death of infants before they're even born. You look at that community, do we have chances of having people who are there to procreate? Because the reason why we even came out with the repopulation strategy, because the old population that are there, they say in the absence of the birth, then you can repopulate to create birth. Because you cannot give birth when you are living now with an old folks, like when we look in our community back home there are only grandmothers and grandfathers that are living there. And so it becomes now very difficult for them now to increase in numerical, because the human inhabitants that are living in Zangtabi cannot increase with our parents that are living there at the moment. And so we thought that if the youths could able now to have some kind of an incentive to able to return back home, and then they start again another fresh population, that is when you see things are coming into play. So by then, we are going now to come out with the board will sit again, discuss with the field officer from what he will bring, and then we'll bring back to the meeting that after the repopulation project, which we had already embarked on, this is the next project that we are going to handle in Delaware. And then at that moment, Sean and his team now were able now to sit down, work around it, and see what kind of strategy we are going to use to raise funds towards that particular project. So I think he has, in a nutshell, given us a generic overview on how strategies to raise funds can only depend on the kind of project that we had already earmarked to carry out. So thank you very much for that.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
we've got two hands raised, one from South Carolina first, Sean, and then we go to Arizona. So Mr. Sean's hand is up.
Yes, please. 3 minutes. Let's do it.
Sorry,
Yes.
I thought I lowered my hand. Okay.
And then we go to Arizona.
Yes, I just wanted to follow up on the one of the things the fundraising committee had talked about was a silent auction. So I know we're coming close to the end of the year, but we would like to encourage. I know, brother Amos, you just talked about coming up with a list of how the committee plans to raise funds. One of the things was to do a silent auction again, and that would be for stuff like drums or any of these kinds of things. So I'm just putting out a shameless plug for those people who will be going to Cameroon. If you can just have that in the back of your mind, if you see some really, stuff like drums or even some, jewelry that you can bring that the committee would be able to use for the silent auction, that would be very much appreciated. So my shameless plug for the fundraising committee.
Very important. Very important. Like we said, even our artifacts. Remember during our convention, we said that we are going to even create our own museum here. And those are the kind of things, we cannot have a museum when we don't even have those things from back home that are to be, kept in those areas, which subsequently that can now take the face of auctions. So if anybody is going back home now, knowing very well that next year our convention is coming, if you have baskets, bags, these cups, these drinking cups, and for doom, and so on and so forth, that we can equally use during that period to auction and then increase our income, then that will be very good. And then bring that conversation to the meeting. If it needs that, we need to disburse some funds to get some of those things, then that we can now still do that. Thank you very much, Myros, for that wonderful point. It's very important.
And no contribution is too small. Okay, so it could be a small bag of Calabar chalk. It could be a whistle that you use to announce the entrance of the fund. Anything, right? But it's all part of our culture. So sometimes we devalue our own culture because we're thinking about it through the lenses of somebody else's culture.
You're right.
So like I said, there is no contribution too small. If it's part of metaculture, it is valuable. All right, it's valuable to us, and we should leverage it to the maximum extent possible.
Exactly. I think in the absence of no contribution on that point, then we now visit another. That is already from the fundraising committee, or what from the chair of that committee. I think we've all heard very elaborate and nice report from there. The next thing, which also come from the minute that we're supposed to discuss on again, was just the financial report. I know that the financial report is already on our program, on our agenda, which is right there. But now we'll go to step 5. That is item 5, which is 2026 convention planning. We all know that when we are having convention, the responsibility to plan this convention is bestowed on the vice president. And for the time being, we have not had the vice president. Remember, last convention, the vice president was not present. From them till today, we have not had any word from him, despite the fact that individuals and the group had contacted him on several occasions. We had no reason why he's not there, but we will not allow the organization to continue to be backward because of the fact that the vice president wasn't there. And that's the reason why Mr. ZATACUDA-GA last year, during the convention, had to play the part of the convention chair. Again, we also remember that the vice president, Mr. Solomon, the wife, told us that after our convention in June, because he was a little bit tired with some work schedule, he will join us. So if we look clearly, this is almost the 3rd meeting that he has not even joined, which means that what she said was not really, it was not honest about it. But then, if you don't want to take a role, tell us that you will not. But we have given this time, a long time, for him to reflect and come back, but he has not. And so we're looking for the position of the vice president, because we cannot go to Delaware without the vice president. Even if the vice president might not perform the planning of the convention, but we need the post of the vice president at this moment. And so we have 2 names that were shortlisted. We still have to work behind the scene to get them. We have our mouth for Constant from California, Northern California. That is the first person that we're thinking to assist the president in that capacity. And we also have Patricia Mujam from Maryland. These are the 2 people that we are looking to fill that vacancy. And so I don't know whether Malfo is here. Malfo, are you with us?
Yeah, she was there on time.
I humbly am. I am.
Yes, Malfo, you know, we are so happy. And that's why I said, if we don't have you here, it's just like our meeting is empty. Each time we've been having a word from you all the time, and we thought that you can equally, you know, rally the women behind this great organization so that we can form a very powerful team. And everybody has been pointing their finger on you. And that's why I said I had to call you without consulting you. This is an open platform where we just have to discuss our thing like a family. And if people have been doing that, then we thought that people hold you at heart. So we just want to see your consent in that capacity, please.
Can I beg for next time, please? I'm begging. I can be part of this meeting, and I am, but that position right now with the responsibilities that go with it, I'm just begging. I will support it as best as I can, but I cannot take something that I cannot do 100%. So Patricia, I don't know if she can do it. I really, really appreciate it, and I can work with her. I cannot do this. I cannot take it on. Yes, because I am not ready. My hands are so tight. I'm so sorry. Please.
All right. Another option which the board of director, we discussed about it yesterday, and they said if you say the contrary, then we want to give you this assignment, you and Patricia, to discuss and see among both of you how to come out with this very important role to be played. So can you discuss, you and my Patricia, about it? Because like I said, the finger I've been pointing on you and then and my Patricia as well. So can you guys discuss and see? Because we really need one of you guys to be in the governing team. It's very important.
What?
Please. Yeah, you guys just discuss like women now. Just discuss and say, you know what, this is our thing. I mean, we need to make it grow. We all have various responsibility. Even me seated here, Ma Rose seated here, Satisha Gideon, Sonny, and all of us, we have a lot of things. There's a lot of things on our hands, but sometimes we look at the bigger picture of it. You see Mr. Sean, wherever he is, he's not even at his own state where he is. He's somewhere, but he thought that, irrespective of the fact that there's a lot of things on his table, but he can still join the group, which is very important. Let's give our little skills that we have. And sometimes we also learn when we're in office. You know, this issue is a learning process for all of us, how to able now to gather people, how to talk with people, and so on and so forth. If you are there, you'll be assisted. Not that you are there and then you will just be allowed by yourself. No, you'll be assisted by an eminent member, people who have been there for quite a long time, people who have been skilled in doing such kind of organization. And so any directives that you need, you'll have them from all of us. So that's the reason. Let's not shy. I know that we are all tight here. Please discuss, you and Ma Patricia. I don't know whether Ma Patricia is here with us. Maybe I need to hear from her before we proceed. Ma Patricia, are you with us? All right. If she's not here with us, then we are giving this assignment to Ma to discuss with her so that by the next meeting, we should be having some briefing from there, except somebody might also want to step in from the audience. We are not closing the window, but these are the two ladies that we shortlisted already. But if somebody can equally personally volunteer to take that responsibility, I think we will be very happy about that. Do we have anybody from the floor that wants to be co-opted into that duty? Maxi? Then if not, then Mafo, please, we thank you so much. Just have a consultation with my Patricia, and then next meeting, we should be having some feedback from you. And if you also have somebody to propose, please don't also fail to let us know. Make your voice heard. That is the essence why we are here. Want everybody to give his own input on how he wants things to be shaped. We don't restrict freedom of speech here. So say whatever you want to say, we're able to filter out and then take what we need to take from there. So that point, I'll close it for now, except somebody had something to say on that. All right. Now the post of the vice president will be waiting next week to have some briefing from there. Now, coming to Delaware. Now, Delaware and Maryland and Pennsylvania, these are the three tri-states that are going to join together. We have understood that the convention will be held in Delaware, which is a center. But now there are questions that the meeting want to hear or want to know or have answers from Delaware, which we had discussed a little bit, that they were able now to have their own joint meeting to be able to understand exactly what, in terms of logistics, what we need to know. The first thing we want to know from Delaware will be the hall, which last week I think we had a picture of how much the hall is going to cost. The next thing is that they should be able to understand that we should also be having meet and greet, which means that when we come in the evening, we are going to have a meet and greet on that day. So where are we going to host? Where are they going to host? Because meet and greet, it is the hosting chapter that is feeding everybody that is coming out of state, and even those who are within the states. So I'm giving this floor to Brother Sonny to give us an appraisal. Let him give us exactly the picture of what we should be looking at in terms of having this convention hold in Delaware. Mr. Sonny, can you give us a little bit of what we need to know? Hello?
Mr. Okay, thank you. Sorry, my mic was off. So
Okay.
yeah, all right. So thank you for the opportunity. Normally, we started work already to see how the convention has to take place. But following the orders you've just presented, we know for the hall, we already booked for the hall. But the only thing is that, here when you book for the hall, you need to confirm the date by paying. So if we book and we have not yet put a deposit, it means that booking is still in final. All right, but for that one, we know we had booked for the hall already. We are working to see that for the meet and greet, it will depend on the activities that we're going to have for the meet and greet. Our home can host the meet and greet, except we have some extra ordinary activities that we want to carry that we need a lot of extra space. Then that will push us to maybe start looking for a small place where we can do the meet and greet. But if we take it at a low key as it took place in Dallas, then our home is ready to receive everybody for the meet and greet. All right. For other logistics, for example, the hall have chairs, and we have two set of chairs. The chairs that go with the hall, that we need to get the person to dress them up, that decoration, and then the decor. We have chairs that don't need decor, and those ones are a little bit expensive. But since we are going to be working, we will see those packages that we're going to get, so that we add to the price of the hall, and then before we come out with the final figure for the hall, because those things are there. If we think we can get them externally, maybe it's going to give us another extra expenditure. But we'll look at it, weigh it out, and before we come to a conclusion. So we are already struggling to see that things should be in order before time. Yeah.
All right, thank you. I think there's a very important thing which I want us to go before we come out with these metrics. In Dallas, we had the cultural day on the same day with the gala, which was really exhausting. We want to make it in a way that we should have the cultural night. That's what I want us to discuss that and have that here clear. That, are we going to have a cultural night which is to showcase about our cultural regalia, every cultural activity that we are going to perform that night, different, and then the gala night should be a standalone day that maybe in the morning we can equally do some kind of an outreach or have some soccer to able to let the people within that particular environment know that there is an association that is going to have a gala that night and do fundraising. Because what happened in Dallas, was that in the morning, we were all exhausted. We went to the hall in the morning, carry all the activities, and then again in the evening, now we go for gala. So it was a little bit exhaustive. So I want to ask the meeting whether should we have the meet and greet is one evening, then the cultural day is another evening, and then the gala night another evening, the last day. That's what I wanted us to look at that. 3 days, which means meet and greet is the day we arrived. The cultural evening, because normally if we are going to invite our member, if he's happened to be here, and then other resident funds that are here who will be accompanying him as well, we are looking at the cultural evening to be a different kind of a program on itself, so that we cannot start the culture and then leave from there again and go to the gala. And then so that on the gala day, the entire morning we can just relax, do some few things, socialize with the people within that particular city or that state, and then try to advertise our program for the evening. And then in the evening, we're able now to dress in our own nice outfit and then come for the gala. So what do you guys think, looking at this kind of a program? We have the meet and greet, we have the cultural night, and then the gala night.
Mr. President, I think Mr. Sean's got his head up.
Okay.
Before him, I wanted to agree with you that from a cultural perspective, I'm serving on the cultural team. Since the board approved that the Royal Majesty of our tribe be present, I think it will be a good thing that we take those 3 days and emphasize on that cultural day, just like you outlined. Hey, Mr. Sean said hands is up.
Okay.
Yeah, so the way it has been articulated, I think it is really, really helpful. It would set the foundation for a really, in my opinion, successful fundraising, because we can build the level of excitement as we go.
Right.
So we start with the meet and greet. We can do silent auction, low to medium value items, get people excited. I always wanted to get one of those, right? So something not prohibitively expensive, but you start to generate the spirit of giving, right? So people get accustomed to the idea of opening their checkbooks and giving money.
Yeah.
Then you have the cultural event, then we up the ante. So there's more stuff. So now say, wow, I spent X amount yesterday, but now look at what's available to me now. Okay, I can contribute more. This is something that's even more exciting than what I saw yesterday. And then you come to the full fundraising where you open the floor. Can you guys mute?
Who is that? Please, can you mute your mic? Somebody is on the floor. All right, Mr. Sean, the floor is yours.
And then we come to the gala,
Right.
and this is where we have the engagement, ideally with corporate sponsors, other people who can contribute things, right? So now you have the potential to win something very valuable, for example. Okay, ticket to somewhere that you really, really wanted to go, right? So maybe it's a flight to go back to Cameroon. Okay, so 2 tickets to Cameroon or something like that.
Right.
Would you contribute? Well, yes, absolutely. All right. Because if I can contribute, maybe $400-500 and get a $2,000 benefit, that sounds like a good deal for me, right? Potentially. All right. So
The 3 days.
The way it's laid out, I think it's ideal for this kind of thing, because you can build the excitement over the course of the convention, right? And then we put more things, we layer it as it goes along, and each day has a theme, as it were, right? So, the first day, meet and greet, relatively low stakes. Next day is cultural. So now you can think about things like getting well, we call them country clothes, but it's really regalia.
Right.
Right. So again, this is one of these things where we tend to devalue our own culture. But this is royal wear, regalia, right? So regal means like from the king or from
Okay.
the king, right? So when you start to integrate and present things in a certain context, I think it sets the foundation um, to let people appreciate better what we are trying to do, right? Which aligns again with our
Thank you very much.
vision.
Yes, I think if anybody support it, I think your neighbor will support it. Just like Mr. Sean said, also from Zane, Teacher Gideon, that if we have these 3 days, it's also going to change in terms of the cost
So,
of all.
yeah, I think that's the traditional schedule for all these cultural conventions. That's
Right.
just this. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. The first day we meet and greet and family, and then Friday we get into business, and cultural has to be there after everything. Yeah, that's who we are, and then the other things come forward. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Now, so those days are already, we've adopted that we are going to have meet and greet, we'll have cultural, and then we'll have gala. So once we have this, by the time that we're going to make the program, Sasoni, you should be understanding that now we'll be having the hall for 2 days. It will not just be for 1 day, it will be for 2 days because meet and greet will be in a residence, but the hall will be for 2 days. So that's what you should be working with. I think that point is clear. That's what I wanted to clarify on that. Then another thing which I wanted to add to the organizers, especially the guys from Delaware, is that please, you have to also shortlist names of hotels that are closer to the convention center, which we need to know them also in time. If there's a way you can equally get a quote from them, so that we're able to know, so that people who want to lodge, they can also start making their reservations on time. And then the airport that people will be landing, because sometime in Delaware, somebody who has not been there might understand that it is there. It might be Philadelphia, because I've landed in Philadelphia and then drive to Delaware. So you're able to make us also understand which airport will be the nearest to the area. So that these are the information that by next week you need to find and then give us.
Yeah,
And
and Delaware is unique. I think it's the only city that does not have an airport.
yes, so it's from Philadelphia or Maryland, but what we
exactly.
wanted them to able to, from where they are located. So they were able now to tell us the nearest one so that we were able now to know, and then that goes. Then rental car, we know that any airport should be having rental car agencies that are there. That one. So these are the informations that we need from them. And then restaurants too. Please also make sure that you look some kind of restaurant that are there, because it's some kind of an advert as well. If you take maybe flyers from some restaurants that are there around there, telling them that this cultural group will be coming on, and then some of them people would like to come eat from our restaurants, then these are the kind of people that you're able to dish out invitations that will also come to support us during that time. So because we'll be coming out from now with series of flyers, putting all those things to make sure that we ease people to know exactly what to do when we are in Delaware. So we're having this conversation to let you know. Do anyone have something to add on this before I will now finish with the last point concerning the convention in Delaware for now?
I think at the very beginning of our conversation, Brother Sean did mention something. I'm not sure if that was just an insight, but that idea, I agree with him to send an invitation and to the former President Biden to give us some money. So
yeah, no, we'll come to that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That the last thing will be
Okay.
will be on how to. But
Got it.
that one goes to when we are getting to the fundraising
Okay.
strategy. Yeah.
Got it.
But now the next thing we want to talk is if we are going to invite His Royal Highness. Now, these are critical things that the board sat and was trying to discuss about it. The first thing is, where is he going to lodge? We need to know that. I think we had a meeting, and I think Brother Sonny will be able now to give you the picture of what we had last night concerning if we are to invite His Royal Majesty and one of his kinsmen. It is solely under our responsibility. What are we supposed to do, or what are they supposed to do? But now we want to talk about what are we supposed to do? Because if he is given a visa to be here for 1 month, then we should be very sure on what we need to do and so on and so forth. So that from that time or at that level, we should know exactly how to engage before we can now dish out letters. So, Sonny, can you brief the meeting on the discussion we had concerning that?
Yeah, as concerning the invitation to His Royal Highness, so we were looking at inviting His Royal Highness. His Royal Highness was not going to move alone, so we talked of inviting him and his subordinate, who will be in person of Niece Stephen, and then with other people whom we thought they can also be of great importance to us out of the village. But within the village setting, we talked of 3 persons. That is the phone, is Niece Stephen, who is a spokesperson to the phone, and then our liaison officer, who we are conferring our activities back home into his hands. And then these are the 3 persons that are supposed to come from home. Now, concerning the phone, we said when the phone comes, where is it going to be? How long is it going to be? So like the president said, we're looking at, okay, if the phone comes, the phone will be in the convention environment for almost at least 1 week. All right, then after the 1 week, how is the phone's well-being over here going to look like? So for that 1 week, we know the meeting is going to take care. Maybe after that 1 week, how are we going to continue keeping the phone in good shape? So we talked about that, and the ideas were that in the meeting, we will see maybe some people will invite the phone to be with them maybe for the following week, or or is it going to be that we are still going to make sure that we keep the phone, because normally he is supposed to be here. If they can give him a visa for 3 months, so he can be here for at least 1 month. He has to be moving from one place to the other. We need to keep him up to date. So the floor will be open. I'm sure the president will give that, so that we know where those areas where people would like the phone to visit, and how.
Can I say something? Just an idea. We have our Fonawazi here. We can inform him. He usually would be very receptive. So if we inform him, if either before or after the phone has the visa, I'm sure Fonawazi will not mind inviting him.
Yeah, thank you. I think, what you are saying is right. I think what the Secretary General is saying is that the first week is incumbent on us. It will be our responsibility, and we need to make a budget on how we need to keep the phone here with his chinda. And so that is the thing we need to know first, because we don't want a kind of a scenario where we send a letter and then the phone is being approved. and it becomes a problem. But now there was a word which we thought that it would be very important for us to also know certain kind of protocol when the fund goes out from his chinda, from his quifor. So we're trying to also discuss that. We will inform the quifor and tell him that is there anything that we want to know about the fund if he goes out, so that we can equally take such kind of a conversation and then we bring to the limelight of the General Assembly and then sort it out and see how we have to go from there. But on our own part, we had said, just like the Secretary General said it, 1 week will be our responsibility. And then from there, maybe sometime I might be inviting him to Dallas. Like Mauro said it, Fonawazi, because normally we have to also signal Fonawazi that, Israelis will be visiting, and probably even during the convention in Delaware, we're also going to invite him to be part and parcel of that convention, which subsequently the fund might also be here to wait to maybe also visit Mekuda, because our initiative is to make him have enough time to meet people. And that was the reason why we said that before he comes, if he could be moving along with 10, 20 projects in his back. And that's the cry that we here have been crying, that they need to create that particular development, the village development committee, to make sure that they produce those projects to move with it. So that if you move here and then you see a very good friend and say, guy, can you sponsor this kind of thing in my village? My village is remote and this is what is going on. And these are the kind of things that when you move from one area to another, I might decided now to say, fund, come and visit me. Now he comes here now, I have to call maybe a group of my folks around here and say, guy, the fund is coming here, please come. And then the fund now might just move one project and say, guy, can you guys support me? And you see everybody will come down and see what is going on, and they're able to chip something. And those are the cry that we have been trying as much as possible to make sure that we create that committee to able now to develop projects, not to be going around taking 2,000, which in a nutshell, we cannot help anything. So that is the second part of it. Another person might be, but we have to know who, after the 5 days, the fund will be visiting. Because we want to give him the maximum time, if God bless him, to have a visa to be here. So that by the time he's going back home, he should be going back home with a kind of a heavy pocket. I know he has his own projects though, what he has also tried now to draft, which he might also be presenting. I think this is an avenue that we thought that if he comes up here, we can equally, raise that awareness among the Medak people that are here. In any area that he comes or he goes to visit, they will make sure that there should be some kind of little fundraising wherever they are to support his movement and so on and so forth. And that will be good. So these are the conversations we had last night. And so the meeting we are able now to know again from Delaware that if, again, the fund will be there for 1 week, where is he going to stay? We say it was a hotel. I think hotel is the most secure area in the USA, I believe so, for the fund to live. He can be there. And how much is it going to cost us? So these are the conversations we need to have from Delaware. That now, if we are going now to host the fund for 1 week, please, this is what it is. I know that guys from Maryland will be running there to see him, people from Pennsylvania on daily basis for that 1 week before the convention, and so on and so forth. He will be good. For real, he will be good. So now, Sonny, sorry, the Secretary General, you guys now will, among the budget that you will be drafting, also tell us the cost of him being there for 1 week. That is my proposal. So we want to throw this to the floor, that we thought that before we dish out invitation, let's know that once it is been given, now this is what it is. Now, coming for his flight ticket, because this is another thing. So, I mean, are we going to take care of the flight ticket? If that's the case, we say yes. Now, that is another budget which we also have to look around before we're able now to make sure we send an invitation. So that we don't send an invitation and then the visa is given and then now we are stuck. And they start asking us, why do you invite a fund when you guys are unable to? We don't want to go through that route. So these are the conversations we want to bring it to the meeting and ask people to talk about this. This is the key thing that we want to talk here because it concerns the convention that we are talking about in Delaware. Please, I need your input on this?
So, Mr. Chairman, if I may go back to the component that is coming with him,
Yes.
to recommend that whoever is coming with him should be at least oriented in a way that this person should know that we mean business. That person must be required to be the secretary or whatever position. We gotta train him or her to make sure that if he's traveling with the king, he's got a duty and responsibility to take down note. It's not a playing matter. Then going back to the other point that you mentioned, I think it was brought to the board's attention that we have individuals possibilities in who could chime in to pay the for the flight. If that is still something, or was it something behind the scene? If not, I can bring that to the table, that someone in Cameroon can offer to pay the flight. If that's the case, I think that's a good thing for this organization.
Yeah, that was the reason why I wanted to hear from the Q4 to see that now, if it comes to the fact that the fund is given the visa. So we are asking the question whether will they be sponsoring his flight from Cameroon, or because we are inviting, we have to do that. So those are some of the questions that we need answers from the representative in terms of protocol. So if we have that, then we can proceed. But we want to do this as early as possible so that by December, then all the letters that we need to dish out must have gone. Must have gone. So please, we need conversation on this. We need the ideas on this. Like I said.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's something that I can read here. Maybe it's not related, but it's related. You say, in the case, we should formulate an outline, basically an outline on the itinerary. They're looking for itinerary where if they're going to be hosting the Royal Majesty sons and daughters, say California, Texas, and all that. Okay, that's something for the record.
Mm-hmm.
If that's going to be part of their itinerary, that's what they wanted to recommend, that people should suggest.
Yeah, because now it's on two-way. Because now, like we said, we want to invite him. If they will say, the Q4 might say, well, maybe the Cameroon group, they wanted to sponsor the fund trip because he has a visa, then we need to know about that. And then the rest of the thing will be done by us. But we want to have that conversation with the Q4 on certain kind of protocols, if we need to know about certain things before we embark on this. And that's why we want to bring this conversation for us to see how do we tackle this. Do we first and foremost hear from the fund's representative before we dish out a letter to know that this is what they required us to know? But what do we do next? Nibop?
I think we should, you're on the right track. Let's first of all hear from the Q4 over there.
Okay.
And I would, from, let me say, our last experience when His Royal Highness was here, and from what I've gotten from some close friends in other tribes who have brought their funds here, they take care of, when I talk of they, those inviting the fund take care of his transportation. Okay. So it is 75% to 80% possible, probable that it will fall on us.
Us, okay.
Just let's give that heads up. It will most likely fall on us to get him over here. And fingers crossed, the embassy is putting nowadays. Maybe his spokesperson or the person who's around with him, like me, Stephen, for example. I hope the guys of the embassy already understand that our cultural leaders, they come out here and they come and go back. So I think they already understand that culture. Yes. So maybe lucky that they give the visa to somebody to accompany him. Okay. Again, just to cut a long story short, 85% probable that we have to show that defense.
All right. Thank you, Nee. I think if we heard Nee well, we should be preparing that we are going to sponsor his flight. That is very clear. I wanted to bring this to all of us here because even those that I have around me here, most of the funds from Northwest, the one from DOP, the one from Batibo, the one from Balikumbat, most of them they are here, and therefore the association do that, just like what he said. They pay that flight, they do everything. So if we have to pay flight for both of them, then we should be calculating in terms of money how much it's going to cost us, and we should know that is it something that we are ready to do.
Yeah.
Is it something that we are ready to do because we had decided? Is it something that we are ready to do because now we are looking at flight for 2 people? We are looking for the hotel. And then we know that in the course of the time, the individual will be inviting the phone from one place to another and so on and so forth. And then he will also be presenting what he thinks we can come in terms of village development. So that we have us.
John has a hand up.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Sean.
So if I may, I would propose that you're absolutely right. Let's make arrangements to fund it ourselves.
Yes.
But we put the onus on the community, those who are going to benefit. So I would say let's try to get the folks back at home to contribute, and if they are unable, then we step in. But put the monkey on their back, right? So I think we can raise the funds, or if we don't have funds available, I think we can arrange that.
Right. Thank you.
So if they are able to substantially fund the trip across, then it becomes easier for us to arrange internal movements around the states. So if he needs to go to Chicago or Texas or California, then we have more flexibility.
Okay.
But if everything falls on our shoulders, then we have to start calculating which of these things is most important, which can we do, right? So then it becomes a stretch. So because we're doing this really for the folks at home.
Right.
So if it is to work well, they need to have some skin in the game, in my opinion.
All right. So I will get the representative comment, just like Nibob said. I'm going to get the representative comment, and then from there, next week we are going to elaborate more on this, and then we'll have to bring feedback from what we gathered today, as far as our network is concerned with the QIFO and the fund to have what they have in mind, and then sort of by the time that we'll be talking next week, we'll be talking with some clarity.
Absolutely. So I think we should consider our funding as the fallback. So let these other people step up, and then we will be the fallback.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And
if we have to fund it, I know.
Mr. President.
Yes. Okay.
I think I will also come up with a proposal that if he is going to be here for a month, I think we should just do our calculation based on where he is staying. If there is any invitation, it can just be deduced from what we have already programmed. Like, let's base ourselves knowing that we are hosting him maybe here in Delaware, and we do the calculation so that we already raise the funds and keep for his upkeep here. So if somebody is taking him out of that hotel, okay, they can just deduce the money for the days that he's not there, then we move on.
Yeah, Raymond, that's very good. But one thing we have to understand is that if just know that even the State Department will understand that if our convention is 3 days, we know that he's supposed to be over 3 days. Even they might give you a visa for 1 year, it doesn't mean that he's coming to live here for 1 year. But our convention want to be very strict. But because our convention is 3 days, just 3 days, well, we thought that the 1 week, we have those 3 days in that 1 week, which he's supposed to be there. So those are the official things that the meeting comes in out, very clean and clear. We come in, make sure that's why I said you guys come out with a budget for him to be in a hotel for 1 week. And in that 1 week, the 3 days for the convention is in. And then from there, we're able now to lobby, look around, who will invite him, and so on and so forth. And that's it. But if somebody asks you a question, how many days for the convention? Even you go to the embassy, they'll tell you it's just 3 days. They might give a visa for 1 year, 10 years, but it doesn't mean that if he has a visa for 10 years, we are going to keep the fund here for 10 years because of that. So we are just looking within the time for the convention. So those 4 days that are additional is to make him have the temperature of the environment. And then from there now, he can. If not, the organization can say, you know what, we are giving you just 1 week. That's what the organization can do. Yeah. Hello? Ramon, did you get what I'm saying?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so you guys will come out with the money with an amount that will cost for 1 week to be in a hotel. That's what we've said. I think that point is very clear. So it's a lot. Let's have a conversation with his representative, and then we'll get back to you guys on that point. We'll continue to explore this point more deeper and deeper. And if we have to fund it, there are many ways in which we can do it. We'll write series of letters to some people to be able now to chip in something in different format. When the moment comes, and then we're able now to look all strategies that we have to use to do that. If there's no comment on that, then we'll just go now to item 6. The item 6, we've already exhausted it because Nation has already explained everything, like I've already explained as well, that will need a specific project for fundraising strategy to be developed from that perspective. Now we'll go to 7, the financial report from Maros.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. President, sorry for taking you
I'm
back.
going to sign off shortly, so if you don't see,
yes,
yeah, I think it's not too late to start having this conversation with the king, just the same like you're having the conversation with whoever is coming with him, to let him know loud and clear the board has approved this program, so that he should start, kind of getting his arms, wrap around that, prepare in that light, so that we don't have a lot of debate or confusion from get-go. So that's just something I say we add before you move on to your next point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if that's what we approve, but now the General Assembly has simply now eyes it, which is message very clear.
Yes.
So that's good. Maros, the floor is yours for financial report.
Yeah, thank you. It's can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, it's great that we're talking about the finances and how we would support this convention next year. As I've been looking at our 2025 accounting and membership registration, I do remember a couple of months ago we had made an observation that none from the from Chicago, from the Illinois team had joined us, and I believe was it Brother Alfred was supposed to follow up with that team to let us know if what the path forward was to that. At this moment, we from last year we had at least 40 members, and clearly right now from our membership drive we have just 26 members. So most of the people missing are the Chicago consortium, right? This is something we should maybe have a discussion about and decide how we're moving forward with that, because this would be a tremendous amount of work for the number of people or the number of members that we currently have, and if we can continue to encourage and push for members for our Meta as Zaintavi constituents to join the organization, that is really what we should be doing. And if there is really a reason, if we have tried to have this discussion with consortium in Chicago and come to an agreement that or they have made the decision that they will not be part of this organization anymore, then we do understand moving forward as we are planning for conventions and all of this, the scale of what we will be undertaking, right? So for right now, membership, annual membership, it is at 2,600. Speaking of our development fund, again, it is from the 26 members also was at 900, and also the our convention fund. In regards to our contributions, we had so far received 2,325 cents now, and I did need to get with Mark Constance on one of these contributions, because I know that there were two contributions that came in. So I mean, you can Mark Constance, you can tell me now. No, we could talk offline if these were actual contributions.
Yeah, we can talk offline. I'll tell you later.
Sure. And so as far as the 2025 pledges goes, we do have, and so I will start sending this out just for the remainder of the people who made pledges, whom we haven't collected yet. Now, I did say last time that I will be getting with Brother Sonny so we could reconcile the contributions from 2024, but unfortunately I have not been able to. I did not hear back from Brother Sonny. I sent him a few, so I hope, and Brother Sonny, I hope we can promise the group here that by our next meeting we will be able to update this with the 2024 contributions moving forward, so we do have a robust and a holistic financial statement to present to the group. Right now, this really just represents the 2025 contributions. So we do need to incorporate the 2024 contributions and balance into this spreadsheet.
Right.
That's all I have for now. If anyone has any questions, let me know.
Thank you, Maros.
I will drop this spreadsheet into the WhatsApp group. Please take a look at it. And if I have omitted your name under any contributions, let me know. These are all electronically. This came through all electronically. So if I've omitted it, I should be able to find it quite easily.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Maros. I just want to go item by item. If you look,
do you want me to? Do you want me to share the spreadsheet again?
Yeah. Just share it. Let me just make some comment about that, please. Thank you very much. Let's begin. I think the first one is the registration.
Yes.
Okay. The registration, just like Mauro said, it is not encouraging. Like we said, it will continue to reach out, just like he said. Last time we called Mr. Alfred to reach out to other folks, but we've not had a reply from him. We need this number to increase. And that's why you see the budget that we are seeing is not really encouraging. The second one, and this registration, last year, part of the registration goes into our convention. And that's what we did. And that's the reason why sometimes we thought it would be very important for us to able now to make sure we increase that number. Thank you very much. Then let's go to the second contribution, which is the annual development, the due. The development due, which we decided is towards the project that we had already started, which was the repopulation project, which we had. And if you look there, it seems like we had just 900 in terms of the CFA. How much is it going to give us? So it's not encouraging. So we are 22 and then we are not up to that amount to make sure the thing goes up to something. Then it is not really appealing to all of us here.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I want to make sure that Maros is a host now, so she can share, like you asked.
He's sharing already.
Are you not seeing my screen?
For some reason, I even make you a host. So you got it. I can't see, but that's good. Proceed. I got it.
I can see the screen.
Okay, go ahead.
Is everybody seeing the screen?
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm saying about the development dues is towards the repopulation project. And we had shortlisted 3 categories of people that we need to make sure that they go back home. And that's why our field officer is back home working so hard to network with people that are in the cities who are promising to go back home, expecting that maybe one will able now to have 300,000 to start maybe a kind of a plantation, because it's a yearly thing. This is going to be a yearly thing to make sure that the young guys who are back home can get back home, and who are back in the city can go back home. And then while home, some of them now will go with their young wives and then start also, raising children, creating some and so on to increase our population, which is very great. And then if we look in terms of CFA, $900 is not even going to give us. We cannot even divide this money into two. So I keep encouraging each and every one of us, please, that let's make that money go up. That was the role of Mr. Alfred, to really continue to network and find out from those people, why have you not done this? But we've not heard from it. But is Mr. Alfred here? Alfred Mujab? All right, he is not here. I think we need to get in touch with him, just like Mauro said. We need more information from him on that perspective. So like I said, it's not encouraging. Then we also have the other due, which is the convention due. If you look at the convention, it's just 900. Now, 900 is just absolutely nothing that we can't take to use in one of the aspects. It's true. That is something. But we continue to encourage that let us pay this amount of money, because 900 should be maybe 18 individuals. So let's try to make sure that before the end of this year, we should be able now to cover up this amount of money, and then see what we are going to do in order to come out with the money that we are going to spend. Because when we come to convention proper, you guys are going to see that the hall is going to take a lot of money. We have deco, that is also part of it. We have other dues which we are still going to fund, just like the budget of His Royal Highness. That one will be different. But looking at this, can we even pay the hall for 2-3 days, and so on and so forth? So this is something that we are still going to work, so that by the next meeting, we are going to give details on how much is going to cost for the entire convention, so that we know. If we have the vice president that was here to work on that, then we would have equally now start looking into the budget for the convention. How much are we estimating? So the activities that we are going to carry on convention day is going to determine the budget. Whatever thing we are going to perform is going to depend on. So within the time being, we are going to sit down and come out with the entire budget for the convention. But now we have to have this conversation before we can draft the budget. We cannot draft a budget based on items that we are not going to do. But the budget simply depends on whatever thing or activities that we are going to carry on. So looking at it is not really encouraging. The last column is about the fundraising. We had said it very clear. If you look at it, there's a lot of names there on red. And the second name in red is my name, which I want to say is very well that I think by next week, I will make sure that I redeem. Within the time being, I have been down. I had some health issues which put me down. But I had already put in my mind that before December, I'm going to make sure that what I pledged, I had to redeem it. And those whose name are not there, like I said, this is a collective issue. All of us have to be part and parcel of the fundraising. The fundraising did not start and end on the convention day. It was just the beginning on that day, and therefore anybody that his name is not there or her name is not there, the name need to be included. And those that have not redeemed their pledges and so on, just like the financial secretary has said it, please, we'll continue to contact them. Maros do as much as effort to contact individual and so on and so forth. And I'm happy that you put it on the forum so that we're able now to see. And we are also appealing.
I did want to make sure that I get with Brother Sonny, so we reconcile the 2024
Right.
also, yes. Because we do have some people from 2024 who still had some pledges before I drop this, before I start reminding people, but I will, and right. I hope I can get together with Brother Sonny one of these days soon, so we can really take care of this. Yeah.
All right, I'm coming to that. Thank you very much. Now coming to Brother Sonny. Sonny, I think Maros had made a series of attempts to get in touch with you. Please, like she said it, let's work on this one so that before the next meeting, we should be presenting the final report on what we should be having in our coffers to the General Assembly. I think by doing that, we'll know what budget we have and how much are we going to disburse to carry these activities that we are having. I think these are the few things that I just wanted to comment on the financial report, and again to thank Maros for taking time to put that spreadsheet in that form. And I think subsequently we'll be seeing them on our platform, and do as much as possible to visit so that you see what it is. And if there's any question, like she said, please, you can ask her the question. Thank you very much. Mr. Raymond.
Yes.
Mr. Raymond, it seems like you want to say something.
No.
All right.
Okay, Mr. President, talking to just direct to Maros. Maros, no problem. We're going to meet, please. Any moment you know you're free, just let me know so that I think I have all the statistics. I will send it through your WhatsApp. If you look at it and there's any question, you just call so that we can talk it one-on-one. Thank you.
That's fine. Thank you very much, SG, for that. The next item.
Mr. President, what I wanted actually to say is I've been trying to talk to Maros. There's a correction on my name that is supposed to be done for some time now. I think he's not understanding what we have to do there.
Correction of your name?
Yes.
All right. I think Maros, you've taken that into consideration. Raymond's name, he said he need maybe a clerical error.
Okay, please just send me a text message, please.
I've done it.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's go back to the agenda and follow from there. Thank you so much, Maros. In the absence of any questions to the Canadian Secretary, then let's proceed with the agenda. We are almost wrapping up. The next item, Mr. Teacher, can you bring again the screen? All right. We have that. Now we are on other matters. The other matters, the first thing was about the repopulation project status as of now. I think I've already spoken on that already, that the funding that we are trying to raise is not coming up, but we still continue to need members to make sure that we get to that scheme. I've said it. Then an invitation. We have invitations that we need to dish out. Number one, like the Secretary General said it to Madam Tamfor. I think is it Madam Tamfor Florence from London. That is one of the invited guests during our last meeting. She was present during the last convention. She was present, and we did mention that, and she was happy that if an invitation is given to her, she will be fortunate to be here again. I think that is somebody that we had already had in mind from UK. We have some other person in UK again, I think 2 names, which we're trying to work on that. We are looking for people that were able to come here and support us. Then from Canada, we also have our Kwifo is there, so we are going to dish him one of the invitations to another person again. If you have a name that you think that person can come here and help us. So the only thing is that they are going to fund their bills, their trip. They fund their trip to and fro. And so the only thing that we need to do is just to send them an invitation letter. And then from home, I think the Secretary has already said it already. Those 3 people. Canada, we have that. If you have 2 in Germany, then fine. We're also going to do that. Send the names. We are going to distribute those things. If they're fortunate, they get to the embassy, they give them a visa, then they're going to be part of us. So those are the invitations that we are planning to dish out to those respective people. Any other matter that we need to discuss about?
Well, Mr. President, could you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. I'm just sitting here, I'm thinking. I didn't know this is how deep the situation in Chicago is. We're sitting here trying to brainstorm to bring the majesty from the report that Ma Rose just presented. It sounds to me that half of the Zanctabians are in Chicago, and I'm not my head is not very clear what is going on with Chicago. I just want to draw that to your attention and the membership attention so you can proceed. But that's just my reflection.
Yeah, thank you. But let me just comment a little bit on that. This is an association already, and we are going to work by the rules. But now bringing the emergency here is for the entire village, which means that every son and daughter need to be part and parcel of that particular scheme. Whether you belong to this group or not, that's what we are trying to think. Meaning that if the Chicagoans, those that are there are not part of and parcel of this group, then we have to also listen to them and ask them that, look, His Royal Highness is coming here.
Yeah.
Are you guys also going to be part and parcel of whatever funding that we want to provide to make sure we facilitate this media? Not so.
Good.
Yes. So those are the things that we need to make very clear, that he's not coming just because this is an association, but he's coming now for the Zantabi and the Meta people. So the Chicago, once you are from Zantabi and you're in Chicago, if you are not part of this meeting, you have to be part of the process as we want to bring the fund here.
There you go.
No way. Yes. I think, thank you very much, Mr. Teacher. I think we will talk with Neil Humphrey again, because I believe that last time Neil Humphrey is with us. He has given us a lot of the problem that is going there, and we all know about it. That we'll continue to get in touch with him so that he can now disseminate this information to the group in Chicago, so that they know. So that if they refused, then now we're able now to start thinking, what do we do next? And so on and so forth. So thank you very much for that point.
Yeah, one of the reasons I'm saying that, I'm looking at the fact that California could not host, for reason any reasonable person will agree with California, is the genesis of this particular thing. Maybe that is proving me to be wrong, because I think there are other things that we need to be, as we're going along, maybe this opportunity will take us to a point where we'll grasp their issue. Really, 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 this is serious. It's serious. Okay, proceed. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. President, just to follow up with Brother Gidi, it's rather unfortunate that we find ourselves in this dilemma with Chicago. As Elias said a few minutes ago, Chicago is the core. You like it or not, Chicago is the core of our brothers and sisters in the United States. I must say this, you know, if you take a look at the number of our folks who are there. So to cut a long story short, just a suggestion, which is a food for thought, down the road, you know, sometimes when we do things on this platform, you know, from a distance, it's different from when you actually, you know, take your body to somewhere, you sit and look at the person's face to face, eye to eye, and you sit and talk. That's diplomacy, you know. If it's possible, begin to think about maybe one or two of reps from this group visit Chicago on their meeting day. You get there and actually table the issue and hear from them.
And I know Bob, that's what is just flowing to my memory.
But that USA sent me somewhere. The two of us, you know, we went somewhere for a problem. We sat there when we left that place. It took a different dimension. So think about that, please, down the road. We need Chicago. His Royal Highness is coming. We need them.
Yes, we need them by all costs.
And if you bring this to the board, this is how I'm going to be suggesting.
Yes.
If Chicago is
have to be on board
to follow the kind of process NIBOB is proceeding, you know, we may have to think about the visit of His Majesty. We cannot go ahead without Chicago coming out very, very plain. I don't think it's because California cannot host that they make these claims and abstain from telling us what is happening there. Something is deeper is over there. I think so. It shouldn't be our business.
All right. I think
Mr. President, sincerely speaking, we have been talking on this issue a lot, and I just want to, before NIBOB was coming with that suggestion, that was an idea. Just as we started, Maros talked on this topic, that was what was running already in my mind. that somebody in the ESCO needs to move the president or dedicate some powers. Somebody needs to go to Chicago on their meeting day. You know, they have their meeting first Sunday of the month. I mean, and try to see what actually is the problem and what is the way forward. Because we have been talking with our brother and thinking that he is going to back down and join the brothers and sisters the way we started, but we are not seeing any blueprints anywhere. Nihom came last time, explained a few things to us. The wife came, explained her own things, and we were thinking that because the wife said he would be free in July. Now we are already in September, and then no word from him after June convention. So we know from what the wife told us, it will be free from July. So we're expecting to get him in July. We didn't. We were expecting to get him in August, nothing. This is September, and the meeting is holding today. No info, nothing. So it's really a call for concern. Just like the Bible says, the shepherd left 99 sheep and was going after one sheep which was missing. So I think we need to think on this and do something. To
All right,
make
let me
sure.
say this. Yeah, thank you very much. I think the point is well taken care of. Remember first that the advisor was sent there because we had a meeting. The board had a meeting with the advisors, and Neil Humphrey was commissioned to deliver the message that we had during the joint session, and he brought us feedback from there. I think we are not going to ignore the responsibility of the advisor, just like if we have to send Nibob. Nibob is also going to play the very part that Neil Humphrey did. And that's why we have that feedback from there. In the absence of that, meaning that we still continue to maybe do the second attempt, we might decide to say, okay, now we might see how we might send the Secretary General to go to Chicago and then discuss with them again, which might be the last time, because the issue concerning the fund might be a little bit different again from the association itself implicitly. So we want to make it very clear that if the fund is coming here, whether you were a member of a meeting or not a member of a meeting, it is our joint effort to make sure that we give him that befitting welcome. And that this is a message that they need to understand. And that if the fund does not come, then they should be held responsible that they are the people that simply put restrictions on certain things that we could not equally do because of that. So we need to make that very clear to them. That it's our concern. Because when he's coming now, he's coming with a lot of message for us, and to also galvanize other folks around to make sure that unity under this umbrella is very essential. So, Mr. Secretary, we'll talk that with the board, but I'm telling to this general panel that we are going to send somebody. This is the second and the last time that we should be doing this. Because number one, Mr. Solomon again, who came with that problem, is not even a member of this group. The wife too, she's not also a member, apart from only Neon Free. But what we are saying is that Neon Free has tried as an advisor to us, because if the worst come to the worst with the executive, we are looking on the advisor to solve the problem to us. But if the advisor go and then come back with such kind of report, then automatically, where do we now do? What do we do? So we are now using this one as the last bullet. Let's try this again and then see, to know that we have tried. That the reason we are going there, we are not going there again to continue to solicit them to be members of this group. But we are going there on different capacity because the fund, we want to invite the fund who is the fund of all ZANTAB people, irrespective of the fact that you are a member of the association or not, to be here. I think that point is clear, isn't it?
Well, Mr. President, your point is very clear. Now we are dealing with our organization that has to move forward. We are planning for our convention. Whether the fund comes or doesn't come, our convention has to move forward.
Exactly.
And number two, we are dealing with our resources. Our huge resources is money. And we will be very judicious on how we use our money. So I would suggest that the last attempt should not be investing money
Right.
into this. Rather, we use a conference like this, give the advisors, our three advisors, suggest to our three advisors to convene a meeting with them and look at it from a virtual perspective and then bring that to us. We should not invest our money to put it in this kind of situation where it is a Zangtabi we are talking about, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would rather put that out on the side, and then if they cannot get things addressed out there properly, let them know that we are leaving the Majesty's visit
Right.
pending their reaction.
Thank you very much. I think that is a very good, appealing way to go around it. Nibob is here. Mark Christina is not here. We are
No,
very sure
Mark
that.
Christina is here. I think so.
Okay, Mark Christina is here.
Yeah. Christina. Mark Christina is here.
All right, that's good. Then
Yeah.
I think we are going to go through this route because we have to strike a resolution on the way forward.
Yes.
But we have no time. The time is not on our side. I just want to respectfully commission our advisors, Mark Christiana and Ibop, with Nick Humphrey again, to have a meeting with the executive of the ZATACUDA Chicago and bring us feedback. But the message is not about whether they are members here or not, but it's about the fund coming. That's where we want to talk about it, because we cannot force somebody to become a member of a group. You have the voluntary will to be part of it, and as well as you don't want to be. But now we are bypass that particular level at this moment because we are looking at His Royal Majesty visit. So that will be the caption that the advisor will be now striking on, knowing very well that they've had a kind of defense to give reason why they don't want to belong here. Doesn't really make any merit. We don't see anything there. So we are not going to comment on that. So Nibob and Mark Christiana, thank you very much. We'll talk this again with the board, so that before the next meeting, you guys must have a consultation, either a virtual meeting with Nee and Neil Humphrey, and then we're able to see exactly how we can now bridge the gap and see what feedback we are going to bring to the General Assembly. Thank you, Mr. Teacher, for that very clear point. Because we cannot more invest money. We cannot invest money in things like this again, because we don't even have the money. So we cannot invest money again to send somebody to go right out there and have the very result that we can equally have it virtual, just like we're doing now. Okay, thank you very much for that option. Any other thing on that? All right. If not, then one last point on that other matter was just want to announce to you that even the treasurer, I think in the days ahead, I'm going to stroke her off the account. That is Victorine. She voluntarily decided to join the husband, and I will say this very clearly, and had not also refused. I refused to not to register herself until now. When we had the meeting, even with Nichali, trying to discuss about what was going on, and Nichali tried to plead, telling us that we should give some time to see if they can equally, come back again, and we'll see what we're doing. But from that time to today, we've seen nothing. So we'll not continue to deal with an abstract dimension, things that is not going to yield us anything, and instead bring us backward. Because each time when we sit down, we continue to talk about things that does not make us progress. It doesn't make sense. It's not going to help us. So if they want to be part of it, they will make us know. If not, then we're going to leave it. So I am announcing to this meeting that from the days ahead, I'm going to stroke that name off our account because she's not a member. That's very clear. That's even the first point. She's not a member of the group. So it cannot be on account of a group that is active. Any other reaction to this? Any other matters? All right. In the absence of any other matter, let's go to an announcement. Do we have an announcement? Do we have an announcement? All right. We should be having our meeting next month, same time, please. Like I said, if we can get in touch with Mr. Alfred Mojem to make more publicity on this, that will be very, very imperative. We want to gather all this information so that by the time that we start already printing flyers towards the convention, then we must have gathered all the information. And that's why we have this conversation, to make sure that it helps us to draft the budget. Without this, then it will become very difficult for us to draft the budget. Yes, Nibob.
No, my hand is not up.
All right, okay. In the absence of any announcement, I declare the meeting closed. I want to thank each and every one of you for showing up. This is the spirit that I have been wanting us to have each time that we come out on board. Each one of us have given his or her input. Some are at work. I think like Lillian do announce that she's at work and she's following up from where she is, which is very good. And I keep saying that wherever you are, please try to join us and give your point of view. We are not going to neglect anybody. We want to thank Nishon as well too for giving us more clarity on fundraising strategy, which still be waiting to have a draft from him. And everybody that has participated, Mark, Christiana, our advisor from Pennsylvania. We've not heard from her. We know that each time she always comes here with word for us. We know that in the days ahead, the Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland will be also giving us a briefing about a joint meeting concerning the convention. So I want to thank you, and I ask God to continue to protect you throughout the rest of the week and the month. We'll be meeting again next month.
Mr. President,
yes,
I know you've been mentioning it. I want to make sure that because the secretary is taking down the attendance, right?
yes.
Okay. Do I want to open it up for everyone to announce them or just go over it? What do you want me to do?
Yes,
Open.
Huh?
Open.
Okay.
Yes.
Everybody just open up and then announce themselves. So Tyrone, Tim, you already saw us here.
Yeah, it will be very imperative for us to always have attendance so that we know. I know we
Yeah,
are 12 there, but there are more.
Thank you. I've been struggling to open my participant page, but I can't get it as I used to get it. So
Right. That's why we just wanted everybody to. We know Mark.
so from Tyrone, we have how many people in Tyrone?
2 today.
Okay.
Celine and myself.
Okay. That's Tyrone. Texas.
Yeah, I'm there.
Lillian.
And Lilian was online too, even though I work. Chicago, nobody. Pennsylvania, Ma was there. California.
A lot.
We have 4 of us here.
Okay, 4. Maryland. MD. Niafre was on the line, right?
No, I think
Massachusetts.
Oh, is somebody from Boston? Is she there?
I don't think.
Okay.
Okay.
Arizona, two.
Mr. Sean and Arizona, right?
Yes.
Two. Yeah.
Arizona, 2. Okay. Delaware, 2. Have I forgotten somebody?
I see Iowa.
Iowa.
Is it one? Cicely.
Yes.
Yeah. She was in.
Yeah.
Okay. Iowa 1. Welcome, Iowa.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. All right. Our cultural secretary, thank you for this reminder.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. We are having a total of 15 persons who attended the meeting today. So, thank you, Mr. President, for this opportunity you gave me again to get this attendance. Hope all of us are going to meet next week, next month, strong and kicking.
Even though we took a lot of time to deliberate on key and sensitive issues, but it was very important. Thank you so much.
Bye.
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 Right.